we got that now. So yeah, both players going Mir on their builds. Core going up here, and let's see what they do with their resources, whether or not they are making a Zealot. If we have that 2 supply jump, or if anyone goes to 15 supply. Now both are holding minerals, so we're going to see Zealot first from both players. So pretty typical looking PvP here. Actually, no, Best did not go Zealot first, it looks like. It looks like he went up on Probe and is doing some stuff with pylons. Because you don't hit 15 supply if you go for Zealot first. It looks like he just went straight for his core. So Best will have a slightly stronger economy, a probe or 2 more than Movie, but Movie will have an extra Zealot. That is sort of the tray that goes off there, because that Zealot builds while the core is making, so you don't actually, you don't have less Dragoons, you just have, you have to do a probe cut. And Best is just going to be scouting around forever until that Dragoon props out, as is... Actually, is Movie sent out a scout? No, it doesn't look like it. No scout yet from Movie, and range is spinning for Best, all looking pretty standard and typical. No surprises yet. We got a second gate, though, from Movie. Not a surprise. Map is very narrow choke, especially outside of the main, and it is not ramped, so it makes early Dragoons pretty powerful, kind of necessary to play against, and we'll see if Best does the same, or if he's going to confidently stick with 1 gateway. Of course, the scout has already been denied, so Best knows exactly what's up. Or wow, my brain just shut down. Oh, okay, Best gets first shot there, and doing some good blocking. Can Best get an early kill? This would be significant. It's always nice when you can do it. It's looking promising. Needs 1 more shot. He's gonna get it. Bam. Big kill there for Best as he takes down one of Movie's Dragoons. A nice little surprise move there, and there's the robo for Movie. But yeah, no huge surprises here. You know, Movie added the second gateway. Best didn't get to see that. And in the meantime, we see Best is definitely adding some sort of tech building, but I don't think we've seen what it is yet. Well, that could be one of a variety of things. It's probably just a robo and a second gateway that's building. Yep. So pretty similar for both players. Movie opted for the gateway first. Best opted for the robo first. But with Best killing that Dragoon, it's going to be pretty similar numbers. Pretty comfortable situation here for Best. Pretty even on builds. I'm assuming both players are going to go Obs and then Reaver. Maybe one of them will surprise us, but I don't really expect it. I guess they both know at this point that the other player has gone for Dragoon range because of that little skirmish there in the middle. But we can see Best is safely getting up his Obs tech, and Movie will probably be doing the same. And Movie's just going to bring his goons onto that ramp. That's a good idea, so you're not sitting back in your natural, or God forbid your main, where the other player can just walk up and throw down a little casual contain. And Best is... Okay, yeah, he tries to go up there, but Movie is waiting and easily snipes off Best probe. And what is the tech? Okay, Movie's going to go shuttle first. Okay, Movie is going to go straight into Reaver. Alright, so that's fair. Best chased the Dragoon away. He knew that Best had range, so he knows that DTs are not the choice of day, so opting to go for Reaver first, and we'll see if he wants to be aggressive with it or just kind of surprise Best with some fast harass. Although given that Best is sitting on 1 base, harass would not be very powerful. Observer from Best actually just missing those Dragoons from Movie. And interestingly, and that really is interesting to me, Best is sitting back here in his main very scared. Wow. He must think it's like 3 gateway or something like that, because this is an odd play. And Movie does have a Dragoon advantage, make no mistake. It is an extra Dragoon and an extra slot for Movie. But I think with that choke, and especially with some probes already there to pull, no danger right now for Best whatsoever. Now, the fact that he's contained, if the Reaver gets down there soon enough, that would be annoying, because if Best tries to break out with this Reaver, it's very, very snipeable. So he probably won't attempt that. So he's going to have to sit here, and then... Okay, he's going to try to come out. So this is an interesting play here. Going to need some good Reaver micro. That's a good initial Scarab, though. But Movie's got his Dragoons pretty well split, and Best being very aggressive about this right now, but I like the decision. He does need to get out before the shuttle, and he is doing a good job protecting that Reaver, and enough Scarabs going off that he's going to push Movie back. So at least Best is out now of his natural. But the shuttle for Movie is coming up, and that extra mobility against Best's slow Reaver here is a huge deal. And this is still kind of a tense moment for Best. Now, if Best shuttle pops out, he should be fine. Look at that Dragoon positioning for Best right now. He knows it. Now he's got Dragoon, he's got numbers advantage, and he gets off a good Scarab. So now Movie's got to run. And now the shuttle is a bit exposed. So yeah, Best has room to work with, and he's going to hold on to this okay. Well, let's see how the target firing goes. Honestly, it's pretty damn good micro so far for Movie. And is Best overextending? Well, the shuttle is down, so it looks like he's going to be okay. I'm honestly pretty amazed his Dragoons live that long. Usually when you see Protoss miss that many shots, or take that many shots at the shuttle and Reaver without getting it, with the majority of his Dragoons, usually his army melts, but that goes okay for Best. And yeah, Best now getting up a Nexus, similar timing to Movie, so still kind of an even-ish game. I think Best has a little bit more economy here. I'd be curious to see, but Best known for that stellar macro. I mean, that is what made him famous. The guy just hits everything so perfectly that he gets by with less gateways and just has more units. Like, you'll see Best on like 3 base with like 7 gateways, and his money will be like 0. And he'll have this giant army, and it's just like he's so efficient with the way he hits his production and stuff. Alright, so Best out on the map. We should have a shuttle here if he's going to move out like this. It looks like the Reavers are crawling back closer to where the shuttle would pick them up. Movie has a Reaver crawling out onto his high ground pod, more or less. And yep, there's the shuttle. So reinforcements coming out for Best, and that Dragoon or that Reaver from Movie is rather out of position here. Now, the high ground from Movie, obviously a significant advantage. But when 2 Reavers arrive, especially if Movie's Reaver isn't in position, 100% Movie is going to need to back up here. He cannot fight 2 Reavers plus all these Dragoons, even if it's low ground. And Best actually is going to just immediately force him back. So Movie is moving into the natural to defend here, and he's severely down in everything. This is... The choke is Movie's saving grace here, because that is a very narrow choke. You can just see that. Movie has 2 Reavers, but he's going to get 1 sniped almost immediately. Nice pickup by Best. Actually, Best has not sniped the Reaver yet, but remember, Movie's units are... Best is actually getting the better arc in the choke here. I think Best is just going to win outright. Yeah, that 1 Reaver's down. He's still got 2 Reavers alive, and this looks like it's headed towards GG. Movie actually fought in his own choke there. A horrible, horrible fight, and now Movie overrun at the natural. He's pulling probes against this Reaver. We know what's going to happen to these poor probes here shortly. Bam. And 30 supply to 68. Best is going to put Gamst up 1-0, and that is a good start here for Gamst. One of Gamst's key players getting a nice initial win. Volume is what? Volume is what? Too loud? Volume is GG? Or the game is GG? Because if the volume's too loud, we can adjust that. It's possible I'm a little too... It looks like maybe my volume's a little too loud. Is it clipping a bit? I can drag it back down. I think it was maybe bouncing into the yellow. I was kind of hyped and leaning in a little closer to my mic than I otherwise would. So now we will have a moment here where we chill for our next game, and yeah, looking good for Gamst, especially because they still have some strong players left to field here, namely Larva. Now, Jaedong could certainly beat Larva without a doubt. Jaedong is maybe not Jaedong of old, but Jaedong is solid, and especially in CVC, always has the potential to pull upsets. So that game could still go either way if that's the game we even get. And then the rest of it is matchups. Piano is hugely matchups. If Piano gets Mizo, it's great for Piano. He's loving it. If Piano gets Songho, if Piano gets Light, we could have a game. I would think Light would be favored. He's pretty good TVT. But that could go either way. And then if they sent Harang 2 instead, well, or I should stop saying Harang 2, Harangi. If they sent Harangi could certainly beat Light. Harangi could probably beat Miso, but you know it's CVP, and Miso's had a pretty solid run of things here as of late. And then Harangi versus Songho. I don't know, Songho looked pretty crisp in his PVT, but apparently Songho quite something of a PVT sniper. So I don't know what to expect from Songho's PVT. That will be interesting to watch if we get that matchup. So we'll be waiting to see what that second matchup is here. And if we're going to get a series for this kind of second leg of our brackets, obviously we had our initial matches that were best of 7, and now into our second leg. And the question is, are we going to see a single matchup go past 3 games? Because so far we've had 3 straight 3-0s. I can raise the volume? Really? Okay, my mic is telling me the volume is quite loud, but I'll take your words for it. If you think I can get away with raising it and I'm not going to blow anything up, then we can bring it up. Alright, so what do you guys think? Did that other guy have a hidden base? I have a feeling he had a hidden base. Or was he just legit dead? Dying to my sick marine skills. I'm sorry, turn it back to before. Yeah, I was going to say that would probably be a little too loud. I would think, because it shows that I'm, like, at that volume, it shows that I'm pretty close to clipping, which is obviously not a pleasing sound. Alright, let's see if this guy had a hidden base. He made a low ground gateway. Oh, he did a faster route. Yeah, that explains why that Zillick got there when I only had 2 Marines. Nexus. Because I forgot he had that probat on the map. I never killed it, so I bet he used it to make a hidden base. Oh, he did lose the probat. Okay, I don't think he had a hidden base. No, he didn't. Damn. Alright, he was gonna die. He was gonna die. Yeah, he had 6 gateways. What the fuck? 1 base, 6 gateways. Yeah, he was very dead. He was very dead. But usually I have to increase my volume way more than usual to watch your stream. That's interesting. That is interesting because it shows that my volume is pretty loud. I mean, I can jack my volume way up, and you guys can tell me, like, is this normal? Is this okay? Or is this causing the mic to clip like crazy? Because I mean, if it sounds okay, then we can have more volume. But it shows the mic going deep into like the red warning zone, so I would think that means it's about to clip or misbehave. What did you miss? You missed Best smashing Movie's face in. There was kind of a few exchanges. Movie pressured Best. Best had a tense moment or two, but he handled it very well. Got out, got a shuttle with 2 Reavers, came to Movie's base. Best had a slight army advantage, but Movie had a defender's advantage until Movie decided that the best place for him to take the fight was right in the choke. And so instead of forcing Best into a tight choke with 2 Reavers, Movie ran into a tight choke with 2 Reavers. And you can imagine how that went for Movie, which is to say really bad. Okay, well, there's no clipping, but some people saying it's just a bit too loud because, yeah, it looks like it'd be loud as frick. So we'll keep playing with that and adjust it to wherever you guys think is best. Turn my volume up and down. Just up and down the whole time. I don't even know what you mean. Turn your volume up and down? That's what I was just doing. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, Movie's rusty these days. I don't know. He's been unimpressive. When he's on form, he's pretty good. He's one of the few Protosses that has good what do you call it? Good PvZ when he's in shape, which is kind of rare for Protosses. In fact, Movie was unique in that PvZ was close to his best matchup. I mean, he's just an all-around solid tosser. I mean, he had good PvT, he had pretty decent PvP, nice PvZ. He has amazing harass, especially for his, like, my train of thought just died. Especially for like his low APM, his harass is quite good for as low of an APM player as he is, you know? Usually you don't see 230 to 250 APM tosses doing baller harass. Okay, I get what you're saying, Ifed. Yeah, when someone said that, it makes sense. Although if it's too quiet, it's not good, because like if you have to go to your system and turn the volume up all the way and it's still quiet, that doesn't make for like a good recording or upload later. So I did want to make sure it wasn't like too quiet. But I think with modern streaming software, like you guys can see where the volume shows up. Like I think that's pretty normal ranges. So if you're hitting high green, like your volume is going to be reasonable. I wish I had a sound system. You don't have a sound system? Also, hi and thanks, Jimpa. I appreciate it. I wish I had a sound system, says Cudgel. What do you have? I mean, I don't have what I would think of as a sound system. I literally just plug my headphones into my mic and have output. But I do really like this mic because I can literally plug the headphones in and it gives me the feedback from the mic back into my ears. So like I'm hearing my voice right now piped back into my ears exactly the way you guys are hearing it, which is pretty nice. Oh, that's why eFed came in. All of a sudden my cast was just blaring into his living room as I probably increased the volume by almost double based on the decibels or whatever. Because what is it? An increase in 10 decibels is a doubling of the volume. And I think I increased it by about 15 decibels, so three times as loud. That's a pretty significant increase. Aw, boy, aw. Uh-oh, is it time? Oh, they haven't even updated the score yet. They're taking their sweet time. Considering we're 2.5 hours in, it's 11:30 in Korea right now. That's getting pretty late. It's getting pretty late. Oh, psh. I like how it says the network is unstable due to a temporary surge in viewers, but it's not like there's a crazy number of viewers. It's not like Africa can't handle like 10,000 viewers. It's not exactly a problem for Africa. Alright, let's see if we reloaded the chat successfully. I have faith. I have hope. Yeah, it looks like we reloaded. Sorry if you guys said some things. I might have missed it over the last minute while chat was busy going. Eh. But you're right, Africa. I like it. Honestly, I'm excited that they're doing some stuff trying to expand into the non-Korean market. We could use some fresh blood. Twitch has some good features, but it also has some. Oh, it is? I thought it started at 9, but okay. I have no idea what the deal is with Cadenzi and Stork. I haven't heard anything. Some people just said something about Stork in the chat. I don't know where that came from. So I have zero idea what the story is there. We'll find out at some point probably, I'm sure, but I don't have an answer for you as of now. Brittany, always laughing away. There might be. Sometimes it has a way of happening. There's kind of no drama, and it's bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. All of a sudden, it's like, hello, drama. And you're like, what? Where did that come from? I couldn't really see it unless I was really intimately involved in the scene, and I wasn't, so I didn't know it was coming. Oh, I think it's time. I think it's time, boys.
Gamst, able. Round 2.
All right, let's do it. Is this Bong Soon, or is this someone else? I don't know what I don't know what to call her. Is it really Dodson? That feels wrong. I don't know. I feel like I need a different name to call her. Either way, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner as the Brown Terran, we have Agong, who I believe Cadenzi was saying she practiced with quite a bit, and what that means is that, well, what Cadenzi said is that she practiced with Aegon quite a bit, and Aegon was doing pretty well, so yeah, Aegon should be looking sharp here, and we'll just have to see. No, it's G... Jiu? Jiu? Is that what I should call her? Jiu? Because, like, saying Dosun, I guess I could say Dosun is probably, like, roughly correct. And yeah, Discord is the place to find out about drama. Oh, okay, so forward racks. 8 racks here from Agong. I have to admit, Agong has, like, the cute, and I mean this not, like, in, like, the sexually attractive sense, but I mean it in just, like the cutest face of all time. Like, if there's an embodiment of cute, it's, like, Agong. I could see her getting, like, so many fan reactions and stuff like that just because of the way she looks with her face. She just looks incredibly, like, innocent and cute. Anyway, drone going down here for Dosun. And hatchery, is that? I think that's in the right spot. So we have 8 racks, but it is cross spawns. So it's just a question of if this Overlord here gets devoured. Actually, no, a drone has scouted it, so the Overlord should be able to find its way to a reasonably safe location. Although right now it is in a very non-safe location. Dobong soon. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, is that why she's doing it? Okay, I'll call her Bong Soon then. If it's Bong Soon, then I'm familiar and can run with that. Okay, so 2 hatch play here from Bong Soon. Gonna be doing the micro. More micro, less macro. And, oh, it's gonna be bunker rush, but she's holding Marines. That's normal for a TVP bunker rush. It is less common for a TVZ bunker rush. Okay, the Overlord is obviously safe. I'm pretty sure Agong is... Oh, but maybe Agong was just waiting for... to find, like, where Bong Soon was before she sent out the Marines. That would also make sense. And we're going to go into a factory. So 1-1-1 play, most likely from Agong. I would be pretty shocked to see 2-port Wraith Sans Wall. Oh, that Overlord could be sniped, but I don't think that's going to be the focus for right now. I think the focus is going to be on the incoming bunker rush. But the creep is done. She better get a bunker up if she wants it. Oh, she's blocking her own SCVs. And if the creep is all the way down, the bunker's not in range. Okay, the bunker starts. So we have a very late bunker. I feel like there should be lings hatching, but if Bong Soon has not seen this and has been greedy, didn't drone scout. I think she did, though. She should know. She should have a bunch of lings coming here and be able to hold this reasonably fine, although she's just attacking the SCVs right now. Well, I guess that'll work, but the bunker finishes, but all the repairing SCVs there are dead, so this is pretty well handled. The bunker's definitely going to fall. Reasonably low drone losses. Actually, now at 2. If she gets more, that would not be good. She gets 2 drones. Forces a lot of lings, which normally is a pretty good thing. Or normally it can be a little bit scary if there's this many lings out for Zerg, but with a Vulture coming, as long as Agong has decent micro, and I think she will, these lings shouldn't do too much, unless of course they have speed. And she did go for a reasonably fast gas, so there is a chance here that speed is close. That remains to be seen. Yeah, speed's done. Okay, so Agong is now in deep trouble. She needs to micro her little heart out, and even then it's going to be very hard. Slow Volts do not micro that well against Speedlings. Already getting off a lot of hits, trying to buy time, but that Vulture is very close to getting picked off here. It's killed only very few Lings. No Marines are being made from the barracks. 1 Vulture at the ramp to defend. Needs to micro that one now. The other Vulture is going to go across the map, it looks like, but Agong is actually doing a very admirable job here handling these Speedlings. She has them almost to numbers that are reasonable, and that is very good juking. A second Vulture out. Now, if she can keep this one alive, needs to repair it, but then she can almost just sit at her ramp, and with 3 Vultures, she can micro. Now, the Hydra Den is being placed, so Bong Soon is definitely going all in, but Bong Soon's Ling's going the wrong directions, and with a 3rd Vulture on the way, honestly, Agong could just sit 3 Vultures at the ramp, maybe an SCV or 2 if she wanted to be super safe. And she's sitting quite pretty, especially with a Wraith on the way. She'll be able to scout the Hydra Den. Oh, well, if she's leaving the Lings out for a counter, then nothing wrong with that. The counter could be annoying. Now, it won't be lethal at this point in time, but the counter certainly has the potential to be annoying, and she will see these Vultures if she was paying attention. That was close enough to get some vision. Now, there is a Sunken up, but look at the economy. It's so weak, and 3 Vultures can definitely just run past the Sunken to the minerals, to the main, wherever. Let's see how this is played. She's going to run straight through into the main. There we go. 1 Vulture dies, but 2 get in. A drone tries to be pulled, but it's too late. Now she's going to go to the natural, and that Hydroden is in a pretty nice placement because it's making it hard to just go chill behind the natural. But now here comes the counter with Lings, and this is certainly going to surprise Agong, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Both players are going to be taking significant damage to their economy. Agong immediately pulling SCVs, but she's not really getting enough of a drill. This is a pretty favorable fight for Lings. She needs to just kind of run around and wait for, well, unfortunately she probably has a tank making. Needs to pull some SCVs, do some fighting. The economy is going to be hurting for both players. Oh, she had a Vulture coming. All right, let's see what wizardry she can work with that Vulture Micro back at home if she can do it again. She needs to. Ling coming around trying to block. It's a pretty good job. SCVs are being pulled, but the SCVs kind of disrupting the Vulture pathing a little bit. The Lings are being softened up though, and of course any of Bong Soon's current units are going to be going to deal with the 2 Vultures in her main, so that is handled now for Agong. And both economies are hurting for both players, but there is now a Wraith out. These better be Hydra. She won't lose a drone, and the Hydra are actually going to allow her to keep all her drones alive. So this game is on very, very low economy for both players. We're looking at about 7 or 8 workers for both players, but the tech here advantage for Agong is going to be a pretty big deal. A Hydra dying to the mine, the drone is going to get sniped. So that is not looking good. Every worker loss at this level is a big deal, and those Hydra losses are also a big deal. She's being forced to make more units to clear these Vultures in her main, which is incredibly annoying. And she's getting forced onto this low economy, whereas at this point, Agong has probably already added 3 or 4 SCVs. Bong Soon being forced to make nothing but attacking units, just further throwing... Actually, okay, yeah, Agong has made a few SCVs, but not a ton. A Lurker or 2 is out. But of course, with all these mines the Vultures can lay on, oh man, Agong's got the second command center up now too, so double CCs to produce workers from, so her economy is going to be growing back healthy quite fast. Needs to make another Hydra or 2 in the main, and now moving out on the map with this little attack, but enough mines should be able to be laid here to more or less nullify any danger of a small attack like this, especially because there's no OV speed. And just not a lot of units. You know, a few mines will just take this right out. And I mean, if one Lurker gets to the front, that's not that scary. So position now looking very, very strong for Agong. We saw after that attack, it had settled at 20 to 15, but now you're seeing the reality here as the supplies start to reflect the actual situation of 33 and 13. The rebound, the situation of, like, you know, the players were at a similar point, but the infrastructure and setup for Agong was so far ahead that now our supply has just leaped ahead. And so Bong Soon basically has this last counter, and actually she is going to come at an angle here that is below. Are there Marines in the bunker? Okay, this Lurker could do something. The mines are going to be helpful. Wow, that Vulture pathing, though, really messing up the links. Even goes off here on Lurker. Now, this Lurker is certainly annoying. It's certainly a threat, but you know what? It's not burrowed in range of the bunker, so it can't kill the bunker. Okay, turret's going up, which is good, but there's not Marine range. And with a second Lurker sneaking around, that's enough to be a little bit threatening. Now, she is teching to science vessels, but I would love to see a tank out, and she's going for the run-by into range of the bunker here, and the second Lurker tries to go in the main. Those mines are so close. Oh, never mind, never mind. That could swing the entire game. Is this the miracle of Lurkers? There's not detection. There's no scanners. Now, she has a vessel coming, but both of her bases are about to be in range here of these Lurkers, and that means the SCVs are going to die. She has to run them away and commit to no mining for a little while, and you have to give Bong Soon credit. She is doing what she can with her absolutely infantile economy here to make a comeback, although it's a little bit unfortunate. She hasn't cleared the Vultures in the main. Now she's morphing a third Lurker. Oh, she's cleared the natural. Never mind. Agong is back to being just fine. I did not realize the turret finished and gave enough vision to clear the natural. But with the natural cleared, this is no longer a major concern. Not enough units, especially now with a bunker up and a vessel on the way. And apparently the main just going to be sacrificed. So looking very comfortable right now here for Agong. One more Lurker is running in here, but you're not going to bust the front with a bunker and a vessel soon to be out with one Lurker. Just doesn't happen. Yeah, the idea of 2 Vultures killing the main is pretty comical. Oh, now we're adding the Wraith to the DPS. I don't know why she didn't make like 2 Hydra real quickly and just clear that out in the midst of the attack. Just aim, move 2 Hydra, and then attack Agong's base, and no way Agong is going to bother to try to micro 2 Vulture against the Hydra. Now the Lurker's going to come back. What? That was the most nonsensical burrow of all time. She's not under attack. There's no need to burrow a Lurker in the natural when your lair is going to die to 2 Vultures and a Wraith. Okay, well. 1 base Zerg, 2 base Terran. Where is this game headed? Where is this game headed? Also, hello, Korean viewer number 1 and Korean viewer number 2, whose names I don't know. Welcome to my stream. And also, hello, Eric Foreman. I don't think I have seen your name in the chat, but welcome. As we watch the slow death here of Bongsoon. Alright, Vessel's out, so she can clear this Lurker. Maybe. Yeah, hopefully, kind of. Yes, okay. We can clear this Lurker, start mining, and then proceed to get out a couple more units and go roll Bongsoon over. As she is going for high. Oh, lair. She's remorphing her. So she takes the 1 Lurker and burrows it in her natural, not defending anything at all, and there's no map presence. Lets her main lair die, and then makes a lair at the natural. I don't really know what to say about that strategy. Now, Agong, that would be an amazing moment if she lets this command center burn down. If the game goes long... Okay, she notices. It's in the red. They were looking at that too. I was going to laugh if she... That would be an all-time fail. It still wouldn't matter. Even if that command center burned down, Agong would still win. And yeah, you have to give credit to Agong. That lane counter was really scary. And her micro there to stay alive was a big deal. So now she's lost her pool. She just... this is so weird. I guess she's just terrified shitless of the mines. The only thing I can think of in Bongsoon's head is she's like, well, I've got slow overlords, and there's vultures that have laid mines. And if I fly in with the overlords, the wraiths are going to kill my overlords, and she doesn't want to lose her overlords. And if she doesn't send the overlords, her Hydra are going to blow up. That's what I think is going through in her mind, even though that doesn't really make sense. That's the only thing I can picture. 5D chess Zerg? Is this some meme I don't know? 5D? What does 5D mean? Or is that some like chess reference to some like move that's really silly or weird or something? I don't know. Either way, we're about to have an army here for Agong here shortly. More than triple the supply. So this game's going to go on another, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes before it's over. Apparently Agong is getting a Spire, maybe? Or is she going for like Queen's Nest and just going to go 1 hatch natural after main dead hive? I really would love to know what that second building is. If she's going Muta, that's hilarious because she has 1 gas. If she's going hive, that's pretty funny too because she has 1 gas. That's just funny in general. What is it's a spot? Is she gonna try to scourge the vessel and stay alive with 1 base and like 6 drones? Like, I really don't know why Bongsoon is here. That's pretty painful. That's some what we call GG timing. Oh, 5 dimensions. Oh, okay, yeah. I was thinking maybe 5D was some like joke opening move or whatever, you know. Alright, so we got a few tanks, we got a vessel, and some marines. Apparently we're going to get out like 6 muta. They might actually do a tiny bit of damage, but there should be a radiate on the vessel. And there'll be no answer for Agong's push when it comes. And honestly, if Agong hits a good irradiate, that'll just kill the muta outright anyway. And there's actually 3 vessels. So if there are any irradiates in those vessels, you can literally just irradiate half the muta stack. Alright, so Agong are rolling out. Now, if Bongsoon gets pressured into defending this, she's 100% just going to roll over and die. Now, if she sends these muta around and harasses the base, and Agong handles it poorly, Agong can possibly lose a large chunk of her economy. And if she goes totally AFK with the vessels and suicides her army, you know, I'm trying to think of like insane situations here. Well, Agong just saw the living daylights out of those muta. If she missed that, I have nothing to say for her. She's actually going to turn around. Okay. So we're just going to get a prolonged game here. And yeah, guys, I'm trying to invent fantastical situations in which somehow the fate of this game could flip on its head, even though no such situation actually exists. Oh, come on, please tell me you've researched it. Please, no, you don't have a Radiate Aegon, come on. You could have cleared those meter right away and we could have gone to the next game, because this game's really over. So, okay, there goes a tank, that's cool. I would like to see you keep at least one tank alive so we can attack that. Meter are apparently going to camp some turrets here. Gonna do a little bit of harass on the barracks, but they're taking constant turret fire. She's clearing out a few turrets. The Muta are Aegon, please attack with the Marines. Okay, or not. Just never mind that. Aegon's just gonna. Okay, so Aegon has actually decided to turn around and counter, but without a tank. So that is actually a really ridiculous counter because, well, you're not gonna break lurkers without a tank unless Aegon has really. Oh, never mind. She's got 2 tanks. I take back what I said. I take back what I said. Alright, so the tanks are going to start sieging. The vessel's on the way. The meter are out of position to pick that vessel off, so it's going to link up with the army. And the front will be broken here in short order because static lurkers do not beat tanks by themselves without hive. And 6 or 7 Muta is not going to clean up this army. Hopefully she's researched her Radiate here soon. We got some Lings running forward. She actually will pick off 1 tank most likely. There we go. Nice Irradiate going down on the Muta stack. And GG is finally called. Aegon takes the set, and Gamst rolling with a 2-0 lead. So we'll just need to see that third matchup, and then we'll be looking it out. What? Sometimes I don't know what I say when I'm sleepy. Then we'll be looking it out. What? Cheer up, Thomas. Kill it. That's a bizarre chat comment. So yeah, we're heading on to Game 3, and we'll see who wins, because it might be 3-0, and we'll have everything 3-0 in kind of the second leg of MPL, if that is what indeed happens. Aegon is actually very excited. I'm surprised she's that excited for winning, but maybe she's hamming it up for the cameras. I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. But I like the enthusiasm. I'm a fan of it. I guess maybe Aegon was a little bit scared because she had that moment where there were a few lurkers burning her natural. And no, never mind. She should be excited for winning that game. I forgot the beginning of that game had all that baller vulture micro and some clutch defense. That was clutch defense. Sorry, I take back my slightly judging-esque comment and rescind any hint of potential judgment in that comment. It was off base. That was a well-deserved win. And a well-deserved celebration, given that she was very close to dying to mass surprise speedlings. Those volts, man, saved the day. Aegon's practice with Cadenzi paid off. And now we'll just have to see who's left from Gamst that can come close this bad boy out. Let's see. Well, we have Larva, or Harangue 2, or Piano. I'm sure they're not sending A15. But who? But who? Will they ascend? I don't know. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. Larva, Best, Harangue. I need to stop calling him Harangue 2. Just, can you guys, like, reach through your computer and just, like, slap me every time I want to say Harangue 2? Because, yeah, I got in the habit of saying Harangue 2, and it's just... It's not right. The 2 just kind of looks like the same pronunciation, I guess, for E in Korean. Just reach through the screen and be like, schmack. And be like, oh. We'll be good. We'll be good. We'll be good. Alright, so. I want to see... I don't know who they'll send, to be honest. Like, I don't know who they'll sit out between Harangue and Piano. I don't know. Genuinely don't know who will be the chosen son of those guys. We wait. We wait to see. We wait to see who will be duking it out. Hooray, Phil, with the baller ideas. saying you need to turn on voice recognition, and whenever it recognizes Harangue 2, it will play an obnoxious sound. Yeah, just scare the shit out of me and all my roommates every time I say it. Someone get me like some really creepy, really loud sound and just like cue it up with like max speaker volume. I like this idea. Il y samsa o? What does that mean? Il y samsa o? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what they're saying? Hello again, 2007. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to this cast of Moo Pro League. Harangue 2. Tupac. How you doing, man? God, I would probably drive people crazy if I was like Harangue 2. Brittany, the master of chemistry. Seriously, the guy's like a scientist with his chemistry skills with everybody. Hello, Eric Foreman? If I didn't say hi to you, I thought I did, but if I didn't say hi, I will say hi again. Hello, hello. And I guess I like you because you have the same first name as me, and you also spell it correctly, which gives you extra bonus points in my book. Because the name just looks more aesthetic with a C at the end than with a K, let's be real. Sorry to any Erics that spell with a K. Hello, Korean name that I can't read. I'm always sad when I see people with Korean names. I really need to learn Hangul so I can at least pronounce y'all's name. I can't read the Hangul though, so I can't even sound it out. But I know it's pretty easy to learn Hangul. I think you can learn that in like a day. So maybe one of these times I'll take a day and actually just learn how to at least pronounce Hangul and be able to like sound it out. Thanks. I try, I guess, as far as that goes. Sometimes it's better than others. What are they looking at? They're all looking off camera. I'm gonna look off camera too. Just stare over at the wall somewhere. No, not broadcasting to Twitch. This is an Africa event. So not only would Africa not appreciate their event being streamed to a platform that is not theirs, Brittany, who is the organizer and the one hosting, is number one. Brittany is the number one streamer on Africa, so he already has a vested interest in Africa, and for the same reason, you know, Twitch is a direct competitor to Africa, especially because Africa wants to expand to a foreign market more. And then additionally, Brittany, I don't know the reasoning, but Brittany personally dislikes Twitch. I imagine there's been times maybe he's wanted to do business with them or whatever and hasn't liked what he's received. So Brittany would be extremely unhappy if that were to be the case. And obviously, I have no intentions of annoying our fantastic organizer. Hello to another Korean viewer whose name I also can't pronounce, which makes me really sad. I need to add like learning Hangul as a side project. Yeah, I like Angry Poke. You're saying, yeah, I've heard it's like one day. Then I can at least say you all's names instead of just being Korean name, which is not very good. I can do better. Twitch has Nazi staff, really? Tommy, can you shed light on Nazi staff? What that means? Like when I play Brood War myself, or when I cast foreign, non-Korean events, then I usually do those on Twitch. Because Twitch does, unfortunately, still work better. Like, it runs nicer for most non-Koreans. Africa tends to have some problems if you're outside of Korea. So I do those on Twitch, but for Korean events, it's Twitch, or it's Africa only. And I think it's time for our next game!
Gamst, Larva.
Oh, this is pretty hype. This is pretty hype. One of the better TVZers of all time, and in general, against the most, I would say, baller Zerg in the scene right now. That is Larva. All right, so here we go. Eric Foreman. That last part of that comment makes me think I know who you are. Maybe not, but maybe. In the top left-hand corner, as the white Zerg, we have Larva. And in the bottom left-hand corner, as the teal Terran, we have Light. I'm mostly kidding, but they do have strict rules. Yeah, and I know apparently that's the main reason why Flash does not play KSL. What I was hearing from, I believe it was Cadenzi, is that Twitch is not okay with any sort of restreaming ever, and Flash gets a huge number of his viewers, right, from his, like when he plays or analyzes tournaments afterwards, which of course requires restreaming, and Twitch does not allow that. So Flash is biased against Twitch, and as such doesn't play a KSL because it's a primarily Twitch platform. So it'd be nice if Twitch would relax their rules a little bit. Alright, so I'm excited about this. Larva is, obviously, was up there in the top 2 or 3 Zergs. I love his bot. It's such a serious look right there. It was one of the 2 or 3 Zergs and was becoming just an incredibly strong player. And then he took about 6 months off. He had his kid. Just, I think, wanted some time away from serious Brood War. Still streamed, still made money, but wasn't like practicing, focusing seriously, playing quite the hours. And he's still a bit rusty. I mean, we did see him go 3-2 against Jaehoon, which is a bit weak for him, and then he was knocked out by Sulky. And I mean, you know, no shame in losing to Sulky. He's an excellent player, but you know, I don't think Larva's quite looks 100%, maybe 95%. So that may play in here, but we will see how this game goes. Of course, Light did not look particularly impressive, as he got rather bopped around by Miso's all-ins. Now, I will say Miso's preparation was absolutely fantastic, and he really did a good job of faking Light out and kind of tailoring his play style to knowing that Light was going to more or less play +1 5-rack type play. So it worked out pretty well. But we'll see how this game goes. I mean, Light usually likes to just play standard. I don't see Light doing 1-1-1 particularly often. He just, his bio's good, so he plays his standard bio. And so let's see, Larva did open with 12 hatch, and oh my god, he's being annoying to this CC. Let me tell you, Marine should be coming down here soon. Yeah, there we go. That'll put an end to this harassment, and the CC goes down for Light. But hey, that was some pretty good hatch blocking. I just assume that's what it is when you see a worker. That was some pretty good command center blocking for Light. And yeah, 3rd hatch and gas for Larva, so looking like a very typical 3-hatch play, macro-oriented play from Larva on Neo-Nazi Ridge. And yeah, should have a ling or 2 in production. And Light, of course. Oh, Light is doing the second barracks thing. Everybody is doing this all of a sudden. This is okay. So the first few times I saw it from Sharp, I thought it was him being sneaky in KSL and trying to like fool his opponents. But now that I've seen this as many times as I have from different players, I think this is like a new is maybe the wrong word, but this is like a meta shift and trying something a little different. I'm not sure why we're switching to this. Maybe just a little more pressure, forcing a few lings out, just being disruptive or a little more unpredictable. But it's becoming like a theme at this point. Too many people have done it, and it's not like they're trying to be super sneaky. And now, of course, Light is getting the gas. But I haven't really seen what it's supposed to do, unless you're just totally hoping to catch Zerg off guard. But it's obviously going to slow down your +1. It's going to slow down your stim timing, your range timing. All those kind of things are going to be delayed from this. So I don't like it set up for later mid game. But if it has some early utility, then that's fantastic. But I don't know. I haven't seen it do any damage. Like I'm trying to think back to the games against Sulky. I don't think it really did anything. Oh my god. This sick nerd. Larva trying to sneak around. Light knows about it now, but he is isolated away, and I think Light... Nope, Light's going to come back home and defend. SCVs are quickly pulled. Oh, he's got used to the ramp, and now Larva swings up here. Light's going to try to get onto the high ground, but Larva gets initial shots. These Marines need to, just try to split as best as possible, but the control is good from both players, and Larva still wants to take this engagement. He's in on top of the Marines, but the micro from Light is good. It will trade pretty evenly, though. That's not too bad, although Larva kind of dislikes this because now there'll be a short moment where he doesn't have many Zerglings, although he has made a few more. But he traded, what, 6 Lings for probably 5 or 6 Marines? That's a reasonable trade. In fact, that's economically, it's a good trade for Larva, keeping that Marine count a bit lower here for Light. And if Larva wants to play very aggressively with his Muta, then that's extra specially nice, because the lower the Marine count, the more powerful those initial Mutalisks can be. There'll just be less Marines to run around and defend them. And nice control there with speed done for Larva. He can pick off those, and wait, speed is done, right? Otherwise, this is if speed is not done, I understand this. If speed is done, I don't know what Light is doing. That is very dangerous to be out there with those Marines. Oh wow, okay, Larva just missing the SCV. Now there are 2 medics out, but how many Lings for Larva? Well, in that positioning, Light can handle the Lings from Larva pretty well, especially with 2 Fire Bats coming into this composition. So he'll be fine now, no worries. And he can actually apply a little bit of pressure with those 2 Fire Bats, but Larva has 2 Sunks up at the front, looking comfortable in that way. And let's see, with this 2 racks before gas play, let's see if this has any major impact on the Muta timing from Larva. And I'll be curious to see. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it has. Okay, so if it does that, then the slower upgrades, the slower stem, the slower range becomes less of an issue. If you're just delaying the Zerg Spire timing, then it works out fine. And of course, Light does appear to be pumping from 4 barracks, and he will be out on the map. Now, very small Bioforce here from Light, and Larva again trying to sneak around and wisely splitting his Lings. He's going to come in here. He'll probably, no, he won't quite be able to pick off a turret, but good attempt. Larva loses nothing for that, and forces Light to stay pinned back at home. So good tactics there. And Light has that eBay up. I think he was getting +1, but I don't think it'll be done here in time for the Muta. So that'll be a big difference from the +1, normal +1 5-racks variant, is normally that upgrade is done, and you have those super strong Marines, but I don't think it was in this case. I guess it would be nice if we tab back to the eBay. I haven't looked at the Marine upgrades on the actual Marines themselves. Unfortunately, I'm not the OBS, so I can't do that. I am not in Korea, so I can't be watching this game live, because the lag I would generate from the players would be ridiculous, and they would all hate the living daylights out of me, and that is not what I want to do. Alright, so Larva coming in, but he's only got 5 or 6 meter right now. We can see he's not even one-shotting SCVs. Oh my gosh, okay, so he does get the end run. He gets the SCV on the factory. So we see an upgrade is still researching in the eBay. Larva does get these Muta rather softened up. One does not fall, and now Light is pushing out onto the map with a bio group here. It looks to be a group and a half of Marine Medic with a few Fire Bats in the mix. And Larva's Muta count is growing. Looks like we're up to about probably 7 or 8 now. And then rolling around here with these Muta, going to swing in, and Light doing a nice job staying on the high ground. Now, that's one thing that is certainly a major issue with these ridges, is that Larva can take the engagement from the ridges and attack where the Marines are shooting uphill and missing half the time. So that's a little bit annoying for Light. Makes it a little harder to walk across the map, pressure, deny bases. But we see Light right now is not really focusing on that. He's just basically getting his tech out, going to move into that vessel timing there. Larva coming in now with the Mutas from behind, and he's going to pick off a few of these turrets, but there are defenses at home for Light, and that is Light's cue to move out on the map here. Now Larva has a Ling. He knows about that force as it dies, so he knows that Light is heading towards his third base, and Larva has a bit of an odd third base location. Certainly the kind of third base location that makes me think hidden third base. Now, I have a feeling Light is going to sniff this out, because it's not... Oh, this is... okay, never mind. This is not that scary. But he is going to kill a few Marines in the main, most likely. And then maybe grab a turret there, forcing Light to run back. And that's going to force Light's medics or Marines in the natural to pull back and allow Larva to harass the natural a little bit more with his Muta if he wanted. But actually, he's taken his Muta and flown home, so that becomes an irrelevant thing. Hive is done. Defiler Mound going down, so that timing should be decent here for Larva. A few Lurkers being morphed. Light has not found the base. Interestingly, he's obviously not been burning too many scans, and we'll see if he decides to check this 3 o'clock, because he should have been scanning Larva, saying you're on 2 base, but you don't seem to have a lot. This feels weird. A Zerg that just sits on 2 base with a normal timed Hive should create some odd vibes for a Terran, because that's just not usually sound strategy. If that Hive was like super fast, then Terran would say, okay, maybe you're doing 2 base Hive, but the Hive would be at reasonably normal timing here. And oh, well, now Larva's sneaking some Lurkers over there. and that will probably allow him to defend this base comfortably. So Larva is going to get his third up, and then it's going to be a matter of dealing with Tank Vessel here. But he's got Defiler. Consume is obviously being researched. I think we can comfortably infer that. And Light so far doesn't have a Vessel out on the map. Looks like he has one making, but no Vessel out yet. Muta are going to swing into the main. But again, Light has been keeping a lot of bio at home. He'll probably deny this depot. He's going to pick off a Marine there. Good Muta shots, good control here from Larva. Not really forcing or expending his Muta doing anything. Nidus Canal coming up here. And is Larva going to go for a surround on this? Yeah, but there's some fire bats in here. Larva's just going to camp this. He's definitely going to lose some Muta doing that. And I think Larva kind of misjudged that, as he just kind of loses 5 Muta for 6 Marines and a group of Lings. Not a very good trade for Larva. Game decisive? No, I don't think so. But not ideal. And now the tank out from Larva, but the Defiler should be coming down here quite shortly, and it will have Consume or be extremely close to Consume. Light still hasn't found the third base. He's got to be thinking hidden base at this point. Scanning everywhere and not seeing a third, but Light is just looking places and not finding that CC, though. That SCV is to make a command center. Now, Defiler from Larva should be out here. Where is it? Should have a swarm coming and make these tanks more. Yeah, Consume is done, so this is going to be nothing. And the Scourge are going to run forward. Those will be targeted down, though. And Light is actually staying here. He's going to need to move back. Yeah, there we go. Larva's going to try to get a tank. Won't actually get it quite yet, so Light is just going to move back and probably siege up on the high ground. But Defilers might keep him from that. Oh, actually, Light is bleeding a few Marines. That was pretty sloppy. So good win for Larva there. And now Light sending out a smaller force in this direction. But Muta coming in around behind. Now, if there's an Irradiate, that will be annoying to this Muta stack. But Larva picks this up for free. And there's also a Vessel out there that he can munch on. That is... Oh, it does throw down an Irradiate. But the Vulture has now found the base. And actually, the Vulture is doing some damage. 2 drone kills over here. And it is... How did it kill the Nidus Canal? There's no way the Vulture killed the Nidus Canal, right? I don't know what's going on, but now the tanks are isolated, and we should get a tank to die here. Yeah, I was going to say, with a Ling attacking it, we should get a tank to die. Third base goes up for Light. I'm very confused about the status of this Nidus Canal. I don't imagine Light prioritized or attacked the Nidus Canal with a single Vulture. So I'm kind... Oh, maybe in the initial attack when the tanks were sieged, maybe it killed the Nidus at the natural over, and then, of course, it usually dies at the third base. Maybe that's what happened. But Light is still on the map, pressuring well, and of course Light still has a big supply lead, and we see a dropship headed over towards this third base. Now, with 2 lurkers nearby, Larva should be able to burrow in the mineral line pretty quickly here. He seems to be at least somewhat aware of the existence of this dropship, and he's got good burrow here, so Light is just going to have to pick up and go elsewhere. Swarm goes down, and alright, Light's reactions are okay, but it looks like a Vessel was Scourged in the backfield there. And now Larva takes control of the high ground bridge. An Irradiate on a single Muta. Tank going a little AFK there. And now Light is going to be adding on a factory or 2. And of course, the fact that Light has a third base, that's not so bad for him. I think he's comfortable in that regard. But Larva is not in a terrible position either. It's not like he got a super fast third base. He's not in some awesome position. But he's just in a pretty standard, typical ZVT position. He's defended his third. No major losses have been traded for either side. He's reasonably droned. Light has a third. The biggest challenge for Larva now is going to be taking that fourth base. Normally, in a normal traditional third spot, it's pretty easy. You swarm down the map, swarm down the ramp, and take your fourth. But in this case, Larva has a long travel distance to get over and take a fourth base, and it's much easier to get over there and irradiate a single Defiler. You don't have a Nidus Canal to quickly ferry Defilers over, but actually this way of taking a fourth for Larva is not a bad way to go. That's actually pretty close. Now, it isn't conjoined with his natural, but it's not bad. And then Larva just going to burrow some lurkers on the high ground. Incredibly hard to break those with Marine Medic due to the 50% mischance for high ground that basically results in half damage. Oh, I believe 1 Volt can kill 1 Nidus, but I don't believe Light would prioritize Vultures that way in this particular context, especially with a bunch of juicy drones sitting right next to it. Alright, so Larva comes flying in here, only to realize, okay, well, there's a bunker. Leaves 1 Muta there, interesting Muta positioning. And a fourth base up for Light, so I think we're going to see a mech switch, yeah. Factories are going up. Judging from the way he's expanding, this is a more mech switchy expansion. Also, given how static Light is playing and the vessel count, if Light were going to be opting for a more SK-based, SK Terran-based style, we would see significantly more pressure, higher vessel counts, and probably a slower third. And obviously, we wouldn't see 4 factories. So Light just making his way into mech, and we are going to be getting quite a long game. So that makes more sense now. I was a little surprised by that initial Muta positioning, and in the back of my head I was thinking, Guardians? But I didn't think he was actually going to do it. Turns out he is. I should have trusted my natural instincts. And now Larva hitting that 4 gas period where he's going to switch into Ultra. That is a really scary point for SK Terran, a little less so for mech. Oh, that is an annoying Vulture run by. But there's not any drones, and most of the Vultures are softened up, so actually this is going to turn out not that bad, especially since Light is not microing it. Larva, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. So a little bit of annoying Guardian harass coming back here. That's actually forcing some nicer radiates out of the vessels. Oh, if he had Scourge in position too, that could be really annoying. Looks like there's 1 Guardian maybe left back over those cliffs. Could be an Overlord though too. And just this 1 Guardian here from Larva that's not quite doing anything. 1 turret to rule them all at that base. And so, yeah, factories being added for Light. Light is about to go to 5 bases, and he's still at a very, very large supply lead here over Larva, which is definitely a concern as this game goes on, because Larva, he doesn't have a big mass of units yet. He's just lacking that. Nice irradiate on that Defiler, though. And that's going to force it to burrow early. It'll delay the natural a little bit, but not enough to be annoying for Light. And certainly, of course, no danger for the main being broken under Swarm for a short period of time. Larva doesn't have the economy yet to flood crazy amounts of units. He's going to come down here and just try to get some position on the map here with these lurkers. I'm assuming he wants to work his way over towards, kind of pressure towards Light's bottom base and secure his own base. Nice Vulture run by here, but the drones are quickly pulled and only going to get 1 kill. And Larva actually being found a little bit out of position here in the center. So a few of those lurkers are going to go down. And these Vultures now will get cleaned up. Link spilling out here, just trying to get rid of some of the minefields. Trying to find some attack routes here. That's all what the mid game is about here for Terran as they mech switch, is basically just holding. That was a pretty crazy mine journey. That was like a quarter of the map. It's all about just Terran holding on to control here in the center of the map until nice radiate goes down there on that Defiler. Is there a Plague? Plague? No, guess not. Oh, that's a nice pick-off, though. Marines are a little isolated from those tanks. Don't know if they'll actually get a kill, but certainly softens those 2 tanks. But yeah, it's all about just holding control of the map until you get the tanks out and the mech switch fully up and running. And the fact that Larva is kind of pinned here at 110 supply is worrisome. He doesn't have a lot, and I think Light has just kind of more or less out-macroed him. Light was able to expand very fast, and of course without the easy 3rd or easy 4th available, Larva just is taking longer to set up his bases, and he doesn't have the gas count and the massive economy that he would like to see. So Light is just about maxed, and we're going to be seeing some actual mech pressure on the map now. Should have a decent number of tanks and Vultures over there, and he's got reasonable control of the map, which is going to allow him to move around it fairly comfortably. And Larva is going to need some excellent late game play here if he is going to take down Light. And these Vultures again try to run by. Now Light has gotten absolutely nothing out of these Vultures at this base, even though he keeps running them by in huge numbers. And again, he's going to get absolutely nothing. That's one of the things that has been going pretty okay for Larva. Oh, what an annoying Marine. I think Larva might have been able to put down that hatchery. Oh, 1 vessel should die. They're going to double. Wait, oh, Larva, no! Larva misses getting even a single vessel there, and now we can see the tanks are working their way towards the low ground here. Irradiate's going down like crazy on these Ultralisks here, and those are going to fall pretty fast. So unfortunately, Larva getting absolutely nothing. Trying to get a Lurker under there, but there's still a few mines. I think it's going to blow up the Lurker. No, okay, the Lurker holds. So that's nice. But the tanks are breaking in on this side of the base. Larva desperately needs to get some Lurkers burrowed. And of course, this isn't the ideal way you like to be playing this stage of the game. Larva is having to play this very defensively here, using burrowed Lurkers to control space, rather than actually being offensive out on the map, which means that Light is just chilling on 5 bases, kind of controlling the map. He's able to pressure everywhere, and Larva is going to need to be nothing short of fantastic. I mean, he's down supply, and when there's this much tank pressure all the time, your swarms always have to be on point. You're under a lot of pressure in multiple places, and if you slip up anywhere, you just lose a base, and losing a base at this point is more or less fatal. Look at the tank count, though. The numbers are super high. Larva is being efficient. That is a beautiful mind drag onto those tanks, and he is going to push those tanks back for the time being, which is what he needs to do. Nice repositioning of that Ultra there, but unable to pick off any more of the tanks. And this base remains vulnerable. No drop tech out yet for Larva. Not enough money to really switch, and Light is actually starting to bank money. And Light also is taking the 9 o'clock base, because of course Larva is completely focused on just defending his bases. He has no map presence at all. Light controls over half the map with a pretty good Iron Fist. Those are some beautiful swarms, though, and very nice Ultralisk usage. There are not enough mines, and the vessel's a little out of position, allowing these Ultras to be effective, so that is something of a small win here for Larva, and holy shit, that is the Amber Alert thing going off on my phone. I'm sorry if I just gave you guys a freaking heart attack and jacked your blood pressure through the roof. That was my phone's Amber Alert, and it was awfully close to the mic. Larva is getting up a 5th base, though, now. If he can keep defending, if he can take his 5th and his top base, then we get a game out of this, and it's going to be all about Larva trying to more or less shut down bases of Light. The Defiler goes down, so that's going to stop Larva from continuing to push at this side, but these lanes getting into good positions here. I mean, Larva is doing a lot of things right, and for a Zerg at 100 supply, Larva looks like he's starting to macro hard right now. And more lanes coming in here, just doing a good job splitting these up, getting on top of the tanks. Oh, that was so close to being a great mind drag into the tanks. But Light's army getting the better of this fight. More vultures being added to the composition here, more minefields. Larva still has slow overload, so there's no drop tech coming. And are the jaws of mech death going to close in around this base here at 3 o'clock from Larva? It's a big deal base. The link splitting is pretty damn good. That drone obviously just in the group here. And the Defiler in danger of getting picked off. Good clutch swarm at the last minute. The tank splash, unfortunately, though, will eliminate that Defiler. And now we're having a massive Vulture run by, and this one can get drones because there's not creeps. So this is a big win for Light. This is an important base for Larva, and it is now going to fall to these Vultures in terms of mining, and that is enough to prompt Light to take all of his army and swing around. Now Light is going to pick off the other Lurker as well, and suddenly the supply dropping below 100 for Larva. It looks like he did some nice moves, but he's just not had a strong enough economy, and it looks like with the Vultures finding that base, I think we finally hit the tipping point where Larva is not going to be able to recover from. He's trying to counter over here towards the main, bring Light's attention back away, but I don't think it's going to work, and I think Larva is actually in extreme danger of losing that base on the right. He's put some energy into countering, and there it is, GG. Larva runs out of momentum. Light takes the game for Isoi, and we are going to get a game 4 out of this, ladies and gentlemen. It is our first non-3-0 of the night. Someone had detected me saying harangue. I thought that was you. Okay, I figured that was probably the case. Sorry, I was just, one of my friends was like, knew about this, and he was watching it at one point. I didn't realize who he was, but then I, for the first few comments, I like didn't realize who he was, and then he said one comment that was like, I think I know who would say that. Alright, so we're going to sit here and get ready for Game 4. That was not a terrible game between the two. It unfortunately ended up in too strong of a position for Light, and I'm actually going to just readily admit I don't know exactly why Larva ended up in such a bad place economically, but he was just more or less too far behind economically. You know, if you end up 80 supply behind Terran, you know, I guess just not able to drone fast enough and not able to get 3rd and 4th bases fast enough due to positioning, and so that makes me wonder why Larva took 3rd there. If he took it there intentionally, that's an interesting choice because he didn't use it for anything where it seems like you'd use kind of a sneaky third. And if he took it unintentionally, I guess it didn't seem like Light's mid-game pressure was scary enough that Larva would have had to resort to a hidden third. It seems like Larva could have just made a few more lings. He had a good group of Muta out on the map. Light was always leaving a decent amount of bio at home to defend. So yeah, I don't know. That one I will just admit is above my pay grade to analyze as a caster, as someone who's only a 1700, 1750 kind of guy. You need to ask someone that's a little bit better. We need to get Jaeyoon or Nyoken or somebody that knows what they're talking about to come in here and help us out for that one. So we're going to a set number 4 now. Now, I don't think we know who that is going to be between, but we can take some guesses based on what we have. We saw Larva, we saw Best, we saw Aegon. So that means we're going to see either Harangi or Piano. And I honestly have no idea how they're going to decide or pick that. So it's going to be one of those two. And they're going to be up against... Alright, so we saw JD Light, we saw Movie. Ooh, this is all about like sniper picks. Ooh, this is fun. This is fun. Because if they think Piano's coming and they sent Miso, that's a bad choice. But if they saw Piano coming and they sent Songho, Songho's going to win. I'm pretty confident. Whereas if it's Harangi and they send Songho, I guess I don't know. And if they send Miso, I guess I also don't know. I don't know. I feel like maybe Isoi has a subtle advantage here, perhaps. Unless Piano versus Miso. Like I feel like Piano versus Miso favors Gamst. But Piano versus Songho, I guess that's the other loss. I guess Piano is like either win or loss. Harangi's like, I don't know. Now I'm curious to see how the draw is going to go. That could really determine whether or not we go to an ace match. This is turning into quite a long cast. Let's be real. Been going for 3.5 hours now. So that means, well, someone said it only started at 9 or 8 Korean time. So that means it would have been 3.5. It's 11:30 Korean time. That's not quite as bad. Oh, musical chairs. Say what? We're doing seat switching again. Oh wait, no. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. Jaedong is not played. They're probably going to send Jaedong. Piano could still beat Jaedong, though. If they send Harangi, I would think JD would probably beat Harangi. Yeah, never mind, Yolvas. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just, it's 7:30 in the morning, and I've been up since 4. I'm going to keep relying on that excuse. We're going to overuse the living daylights out of that excuse because it's available to us. It is takeable, and I am going to abuse it. So yeah, I think it's pretty likely we will see Lee Jaedong, and that means we should see Jaedong versus P. This could be a good match. I honestly feel like Piano's favored. Piano TVZs pretty well. We get to see the Kamikaze Man himself in action in TVZ in his best matchup, and I think we're going into that matchup right now. Let's see what it is. Oh, no, actually we're doing an intro.
Isoi, perfect match. JD. Gamst, K. Oregon.
Aha, yes, I called it. Oregon with his throat slash. You better back that throat slash up, man. You know, the first person to do that throat slash got crucified. After getting wrecked. So in the top left-hand corner of Grand Line, we have Lee Jaedong. And in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, maybe, as the yellow Terran, maybe someday they really give some long intros. As the yellow Terran, we have Oregon. Oh yeah, JD can definitely win. I mean, like I said, and Jaedong's a little bit two-faced. Like sometimes you see the Jaedong that, like, the Jaedong you remember, the Jaedong of your childhood, the Tyrant, and then other times you're kind of like, well, that was slightly unimpressive. So you know, certainly a matchup that can go either way. This could turn out to be a great matchup, but it could be a flop. Could be a flop. Piano looks like an anime villain. I love Piano's TVZ. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Piano would be the most annoying person as someone who's not confident in their CVT. Piano would be infuriating to play CVT against because he does the craziest shit, and like half the time it's gonna fail and you're just gonna laugh, but the other half of the time it's gonna succeed. You're just gonna sit there and be like, what is this nonsense? Showing JD's Kespa win rates in general, yeah, obviously pretty damn good. Versus all, I was gonna say his win rate was not 69% versus Terran. He was good against Terran, but he was closer to 60%. On this map, he had a 76%. He's only 1-2 on this map. At least one of those games was a fantastic game against Flash. If it's not a game you haven't seen, I would highly recommend just go Google JD versus Flash on Grand Line. Beautiful game of StarCraft. It's definitely worth your watch time, even in the good old 240p days. Also worth your time on this map if you like clinical games involving godly execution and domination. As much as it pains me to say, is a game between Sulky and Flash on this map. Two standout games that pop into my head. Flash wins without losing a single unit. Yeah, I spoiled the game, but it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. It's some of the best execution I've ever seen in my life. It's like a clinic, and how do you just absolutely dominate someone doing 3-hatch lurk. Alright, so we have hatch first here for JD. And, of course, Piano's just going to be scouting around the base, getting an idea of what is going on. And there we go. Hatch goes down for Jaedong. Oh man, Jaedong has his camera at not such a great angle for him. Jaedong looks really intimidating face on, but he does not look intimidating at all from this side profile here. JD still plays at a crazy high APM though. He still spams like mad. Still moves his hands fast, but I guess they just bother him and he just doesn't seem to have that same level of play. I don't know if it's because he doesn't practice enough or if something about his wrist bothering him limits the way he likes to play. And okay, Piano getting up the command center, getting the supply depot up quickly rather than the bunker. Just going to have a nice tight sort of Marine-esque defensive wall here. And the gas going up here. So JD needs to win this, guys, if we're going to go to an ace match here. So some pressure on Jaedong's shoulders. And trying to surround this SCV. Of course, pressure on Jaedong's shoulders is certainly not something he is unfamiliar with, because let's not forget, he played for a long time on Hwasong or Lee-Caf Oz, and if you guys remember, that was usually most of the time Team JD carries everybody else on his shoulder. There's a reason why Pirate Zerg, Mustache Zerg, Oz Sucks Balls Without Me Zerg exists. And that is the reasoning for that. And JD just tapping that SCV in the ass, which apparently kills it. I guess JD's a little bit rough. And just popping those drones. 3-hatch play here from JD. Link speed first, because... Wait, does he have a lair in the natural? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and panda activate base. Wait for the observer to show us what JD's up to. No sign of speed yet from the Lynx, though. Ah, okay, he's got lair in the natural, never mind. Trying to block the scouting off here for Piano, doing a decent job of it. Putting the Spire in a very interesting position. Depending on where Piano scans, he might miss that Spire, but if Piano just scans the natural, he's obviously going to see it. But it's an awfully forward Spire position, it's interesting. And so the scouting has been denied for Piano. He doesn't know if JD's making a bunch of links. And now he's going to go to try to trap the SCV, and he's going to get it. Nice move there for Jaedong. Doesn't have to worry about that on the map anymore, especially with speed links. And then takes a quick poke in. Sees that there's a bunker, sees 4 Marines. He can probably infer pretty confidently it's going to be +1 racks. If Terran was playing a little bit more aggressively with his racks, he would definitely not have the need for a bunker that fast. And JD's made a hell of a lot of links here, actually. So he is definitely looking to be aggressive, probably going to attack at the top, try to pull Piano's links out of position, and then do a run-by on the bunker, because he is streaming out a whole lot of links. This is going to be very aggressive, JD. And unfortunately, due to JD's condition, we do see this kind of play a lot more often. I mean, JD was always an aggressive Zerg, but I feel like JD is much more common today to just go on, okay, this is a huge Ling run-by, and he's just going to attack the Marine straight up, going for the stim, and Piano handles that perfectly. Honestly, yeah, that was weird from Jaedong. It looked scary, but it does nothing. And Piano was clearly in position for it, so that is deflected. Now, JD didn't waste a ton of Lings. He realized pretty quickly there that wasn't going to work. I mean, he still threw away, 4, 5, 6 larva worth, but it's not like he threw away everything. He still got some Lings on the map. He's got his Muta coming. Obviously, his economy is weaker than you might normally see given the number of Lings that he made. But the turret's now going up for Piano here. And Muta out for JD, so that turret timing is more or less absolutely flawless. They'll be finishing literally right as the Muta alive. You can't do a better job than that. The epitome of mineral efficiency. Look at that. God, that's beautiful. I think that's what the commentators are excited about too, because that was as sexy as it gets from the standpoint of flawless turret timing. JD switching immediately into Lurkers, so we are looking to see something of a macro game from JD, and Piano's going to organize everything here into his main base. Oh, I guess I could call him Organ, but Piano is just what I think of when I think of his name. Is Pro-Satan. Pro-Satan, I forgot that was his name. A girl, or I don't know. I have no idea. He could just be a JD fanboy. JD fanboys are notorious, man. JD fanboys apparently, got last all mind-fucked in the head. Apparently after last 4-0 Jaedong with all those 1-1-1s, apparently, JD's fans gave him so much shit. There was speculation that, that was part of the reason last looked so off in his KSL semifinal with Solkey, is that he was getting so much crap that, he was, in his head, and, he didn't want to win the same way and take the same kind of abuse. I don't know. So that adds to the Korea netizens being harsh thing that we were talking about earlier with Denzi. That'd be along those same lines. JD fanboys. That's why I'm a fan of Solkey. Solkey doesn't really have fanboys. Well, that's a scam timing. That's a scam timing. Piano's just in God mode so far. Oh, nice pick off. Nice pick off from behind there from JD. Comes in there, fires blades, takes down a medic. Piano's going a little bit slowly to his starport. JD has his hive on the way, so JD should have the filers out in time. He's getting lurkers over here. So JD's handled this pretty well. Now, if only I could get my CVTs to go like this, where Terran just lets me get lurkers and get hives super fast and feel safe. Wait, is that? Oh, double starport. Okay, so we're gonna see SK Terran here from Oregon, which is not a surprise. He often will play, and often make double dropships as well. Oregon loves to do drop play. You can pretty much guarantee that Piano's not going to have any interest in taking a 3-base. Okay, Lurker's finished in time. Interesting burrow from JD, though. Does that actually... Oh, it does cover the... Wow. Very good. And going to retreat this Lurker and base secure. Job done for JD right now. Third base is unbreakable, of course, with those lurkers at the ramp. So now just teching into Hive, and then we'll see the Defiler Den for Dark Swarm, nullifying those range attacks, making everything proceed nicely. And I bet are we gonna see double drop first? I bet we're gonna see double drop first. It'd be such a Piano thing to do. Such a Piano thing to do. Like I said, this guy would be the most annoying person in the world to play ZVT against. I would just go nuts. Now, Piano's not breaking that third base anytime soon without Vessel assistance, unless he's got some God knows what kind of micro tricks. But with 3 lurkers, I don't think even... 2 lurkers, sometimes some crazy-ass micro tricks can let you bust a ramp against 2 lurkers if you're just in great... Oh, well, I think that was intended to be... Actually, no. Jaedong wants to flank this. Jaedong wants to flank this, but Piano's now on top of it, and Jaedong has to pull back to a high ground ramp here. Now, Piano might decide to attack this. He's Piano. So they're zooming out. They're certainly anticipating. And Jaedong wisely runs the lurkers away. Piano kind of overextending here. And now he's going to run. Okay, Piano's actually going to kill these lurkers. Obviously, although Jaedong is... The spreading of the lurkers, of course, makes them more vulnerable to the Muta. So JD actually... he picks off a lot of that army doing that. So that wasn't all that bad. At a cost of 2 lurkers, that's not bad. But now, of course, we go into the piano phase of the game. The dropships are out. The harass begins in earnest. JD will see them with that Overlord. You can see immediately he's diverting his path, looking for them, and Piano's circling around, trying to be unpredictable. But JD is all over this. And Interception City, baby! At least one goes down, trying to wiggle around, but he gets both! Jaedong is showing up to play so far this game, smashing that double drop attempt there from Piano. It looked like a very risky maneuver, but man, it was judged to perfection. Piano wiggling his dropship, trying to bug out the Scourge. Not good enough. JD on top of it there with the Muta. It looks like his focus is here today, but of course the second double drop is going out for Piano. It just doesn't stop with this man. Like I said, he won't expand. He'll just play on 2 base until he's mined out. That is Piano style TVZ. He's like Baby with slightly less good multitasking compared to Baby. But he's still got pretty good multitasking, and we can see his APM is through the roof. We're going to have pressure at the front, along with the double drop, trying to make space for it, and JD will need to fend for a little bit longer here to feel really safe against these dropships. Now, is he ready for this? It appears he's kind of ready. He needs to move those lurkers into position, and he has to be careful of his ramp, too, because Piano still has that bio lurking around the ramp. Oh, this is Marine only, and this is going nowhere. Way too late of a reaction here from Oregon. So, the fact there was no medic, I don't know what to say about that. He's trying to ferry in, but now the Muta are coming back, and we got a dropship pick off on one of them. Going to split his Scourge to chase that. I don't know if that's actually enough. Muta are going to fly over here, intercept the dropship. Nice work there from JD, continuing to clear those drops out. Piano has a small cluster of bio at the front, but not enough to be scary. And yeah, I think that Scourge was slightly misjudged from JD, as he thought the one would be enough, but just a little too much health on the dropship. Oregon, someone saying Oregon seems very solid. Why don't we see him in KSL, ASL? Basically because Oregon is a one-trick pony. His TVT is mediocre, and his TVP is non-existent. So he just always dies. But he can play decent TVT. And now we got a surround coming on the lanes, and they're on top. And Scourge split out. Looks like, is it enough lanes to clean up? Not quite. We'll have to retreat, but the drop is reduced from really scary numbers, unless he ferries more in, which actually he's going to get away with. And this is a slightly dangerous moment for Jaedong. His supply is still pretty high, though. If he can get units over here, burrowed into good spots, it won't be that bad. The lack of consume is, I'm sure, a bit frustrating. It looks like JD might lose his Hydra Den here over at the natural, but that appears to be the only action on the map right now, so not terrible for JD. Piano circling around with a few Marines here, going behind the minerals, looking for snipes. He's actually doing some pretty good job here, taking out drone lines in the mineral line, and picking off a few overlords here of Jaedong, so this drop is certainly buying time. A few Scourge going in here, I don't know what was up with that, some sort of weird rally. Looks like Jaedong is finally going to clear this drop. I'm not sure where Piano's attention was, because it wasn't anywhere else on the map, I don't think. That's probably another cluster of dropships heading out. It's moving kind of slowly through the center of the map, and I don't think you would send a small force of Marine Medic. So that's going to be the next phase that Jaedong has to deal with here. But Piano is finally going to realize, okay, I need to take a third base. And yeah, that's a cluster of drop. Oh, it actually is a small group of bio. And now Piano just moving around with those dropships, trying to be unpredictable. And we're going to have a triple drop here coming in towards the main of Jaedong. The scan is there. The Overlord, though, should see it. Should allow Jaedong to move into position here. Now the dropships immediately here over the natural, so now we're going to go into the main. That was for sure was going to happen. And the drone's coming out. JD's going to be a little bit out of position. Lurkers start to burrow. Dropships start to unload here. Just trying to spread bio out all over Jaedong's main. But it's looking like Jaedong is getting close to hitting his stride right here. I'm not sensing that Oregon has done enough damage right now. More of these dropships are getting picked off. Shutting down the initial dropships was also a huge deal for Jaedong, because you shut down those initial dropships and you can comfortably drone, you get a good economy, all those kind of things. But so that allowed him to drone. He had a little more time to accrue units, and you know the dropships are scary when you have 2 or 3 lurkers and a handful of lings, and you're trying to defend everything with that. But when you start having 2 or 3 groups of lings and 5 lurkers in each base and defilers, it's a little easier, even if you let a dropship in. So JD getting those initial dropships, a huge deal, and it's allowed him to handle the rest of the game very comfortably. And now he's got a really strong, robust 3-base eco, whereas Piano is close to mining out. JD's going to shut down Piano's attempt at sneaking a base over here. And he should have plenty of defense to handle this bio force from Piano. There are 6 vessels or 5 vessels in, so he will need to get a Defiler down with a Swarm pretty quick. And I like the fact that Piano's bought a few Fire Bats. This is actually a pretty dangerous moment for JD. It's another moment for Piano to flip the game on the head, because that's a lot of Irradiates, and with 5 or 6 Fire Bats in there, with all these Lurker about to die, this has busting potential here. Jaedong will almost assuredly have to cancel his natural, and he's going to need some good plagues or something like that, because these Fire Bats are going to come in here, and all of his Lurkers have been irradiated. Either that or needs to get some more Lurkers through the Nidus. Irradiate goes down. Do we have a plague? No, we have a Swarm, but Fire Bats are very good up. Oh, okay, he's got Lurkers on the right. Never mind. JD's going to be fine, and he can swing back around, harass this command center. We can see it even pulled the Muta just to be a little bit more cautious, and so that is held off for JD. It's nice for Piano that he delays JD's 4th base. The Ultra don't become super scary until you have 4 gas, but at any point now, JD can start to pop those Ultra, and Piano's not the kind of guy you're going to see a mech switch with. A few of these plagued guys are going to get cleaned out here. Plagued Fire Bats. Actually, it looks like Piano has a pretty good chance to lose the command center. JD's sending in a few links. That's actually going to delay those Marines just a little bit. And I would say it's about 80% that JD is going to pick off that command center. And oh, not quite. Nice reaction there from JD, though. Both players playing crazy. Oh, is he actually going to save it? Is there an SCV here? It's going to save it. 55 is enough. Oh, is Piano expecting this? Oh, JD. No! He can still kill it, though. He can totally still kill it, but I don't think he's going to. Bring the Muta, bring a Scourge. He's not going to, though. Oh, well. That could have been a crazy moment. Alright, now Lurker's moving forward. Burrow goes down here for Jaedong. A nice plague on the vessels. And Scourge run in, but they will... Oh, they're actually over Irradiate, too, so they will evaporate anyways. And JD moves forward, but those Lurkers run out of momentum. And all of a sudden, Organ Supply is increasing back up a little bit, but Jaedong is double expanding on the map, and we have the first appearance of Ultras. Now, a lot of vessels here can put down Irradiates on the initial Slotras, and of course, Ultras that are slow are not that great. Scourge are getting picked off, so not getting the connects he wants here. And now Piano is going to be forced to play SK Terran. Whether by chance or by intent. If that's by intent, JD is a damned genius. If it was by chance, that was still a really nice moment. That was a big deal. That was 5 or 4 vessels that go down, and now these Ultra in full health from JD can really start to rip out some damage on the map. It looks like Piano is rolling at 2-2. I'd like to see... Oh, JD only has 1 armor upgrade, so he could stand to benefit from that, but oh my gosh, JD is all over this bio cluster. This is going to get devoured for lunch, even pinned against the wall. Not enough units here, so this is a dangerous situation for Piano. We still got 4 Ultras, a lot of health. There will be reinforcement streaming from Jaedong. Piano needs to get vessels over here and get Irradiates down on these Ultra, or he is going to be losing his 3rd base. He's still got good supply, but he has fallen behind Jaedong. So that whole catching those 5 vessels and then this Marine group in the middle has switched this game from, it could go to a game, to now JD is in an incredibly powerful position, and this is that scary point. There are 4 gas for Jaedong, right? In fact, there's going to be 5. This is going to be an incredibly difficult situation for Piano to deal with, especially with that vessel loss. Look at the units streaming in from JD. He's hitting his macro stride. Now there's maybe not quite enough Ultras, so Piano is going to hold on right now, but JD is running 5 gases. And maybe he's mined out the gases in the main. It might only be like 3.5 from the 2 depleted geysers, but that's still enough to be scary, and that's a long period to be dealing with this scary point, especially because I don't think Piano's base is a gas base, and that is really going to limit his vessels, especially as his geysers mine out. So in spite of the supply difference, I feel like Piano is still in a really rough spot. Now, obviously, there's some ways he can do damage, some great drops, but his geyser should be close to mining out, and that's a very, very limited geyser, whereas Jaedong is on 5 gases, or at least 3.5 if the 2 in the main and natural are mined out, and that is a lot of Ultra production for SK Terran to deal with, and especially for SK Terran to deal with when the bio is low. Now, I think there's an upgrade slightly in favor, and Piano is putting out the 2 battlecruisers. Interesting drop comes into the natural here. JD is not quite ready for that, and with the battlecruisers also coming in, and pressure at the 3rd base, this is kind of a potentially disruptive moment. It looks like the bio is getting surrounded here, but it's not enough Zerglings, and the upgrades here that are favoring Piano are coming into play. JD lacking that carapace, perhaps also lacking that attack upgrade. The battlecruiser is doing quite a bit of damage at the natural, and if Piano starts to get units everywhere, oh, he's going to try to land this and kill the Scourge, but he can't, so that's pretty well dealt with. But JD taking major damage in the main base, and Piano is trying to flip this on the head. It looked to be a really strong position for JD here, but now losing a lot of economy. Now he's still holding on to most of his gases, but he's lost a lot of drones right now, and Piano is being able to establish a fourth base behind this, and I really would like to see the upgrades again and see if that's the reason why this game is flipped. Did JD just miscalculate there and is paying the price for it? He's got 2 armor now, but he had 1 armor before, so this is a better parity. He needs to get, well, that's a pretty nice juicy plague. Probably could benefit from a swarm as well. There we go. He's going to consume that. Maybe going to try to get 1 more juicy plague, but this game is all over the place. There we go. There's that plague. And now Piano is heading for this top base of Jaedong. A lot of this is plague, though. Remember, there's still that lurker there. However, I don't think it's going to protect the base from all the Marines attacking it. Piano wants to spread and take this out. Can JD get some units over here? His supply is pretty low. It looks like this base is down for JD. And the battlecruisers, oh, he's not been able to kill them off. That is surprising. With 5 gases, he should have been able to kill those off with Scourge, but the battlecruisers have run absolute train on his natural, and the 5th base now down, and there just don't seem to be units out from JD. And it looks like this one might be slipping away from him after looking so promising just a few minutes ago. Another set of battlecruisers over here. Oh, the spy. Oh my, yeah, this is probably lost. These battlecruisers are wreaking havoc over here, and without a Spire, there's not a good response to these battlecruisers. Just nothing Jaedong can do about them. They're just going to pick off units slowly. They can target fire on Ultras and weaken the economy with drones. So this is working out extremely well for Piano. And I mean, there doesn't seem to be enough units here from JD. It looks like Gamst Piano is going to take this, and it's going to be a through-in victory. And there it is, GG from Jaedong in an absolutely wild game. Damn, that was a holy shit. Did you see the reaction from Piano? My God. I see that. Sometimes you never know with these streamer guys. I don't know if he's that hyped, that he's actually that excited, or if he's just hamming it up for his fans. Either way, quite the reaction from Mr. Piano. But that was a wild game, ladies and gentlemen. That was a wild game. Definitely game of the night. That was action-packed. That was all over the place. It was close. It was tense. We got at least one excellent game out of the night. A couple others that were decent, but that was worth staying up for. That made the whole cast. I mean, the whole cast was fun anyway, but that made the whole cast especially worth it. Glad I got the chance to witness that. I'm a little sad that it turned out the way it did. Honestly, I felt like JD played a beautiful game, and it's a little unfortunate that Piano won. I mean, just thinking about where he was at, it's either one of two things. It's either when he sent everything down at that bottom base, that was an overextension, or it was upgrades. Because I only saw 1 armor. I saw 2-2 on Piano, maybe even 3-2. And I saw 1 armor on JD, and stuff didn't seem to be dying fast to the Zerglings either, which made me think maybe the attack wasn't that great. I'll have to go back through and watch the VOD and see if the observers clicked on the attack upgrades at some point, and see if that was also an issue. Because if JD was 1-1 and Piano was 3-2, that's why that game somehow tipped. Those late upgrades would have completely costed him. But either way, it has been fun. 3-1 for Gamst, and 3-0 for... oh, shoot, who was it that played against Silver? Snap, I can't even, think. No? Oh, Efforts team, yeah. For pickup. So 3-0 in favor. 3-0 pickup over Celiver. Of course, that is not the end of the road for Cadenzi. That is not the end of the road for Last. They should have one more series. They've only lost one game. They were the winners in the first round, and then at least I think they were. And then of course we have actually maybe they weren't though because their team is pretty weak. That might have been the end of the road for Celiver. And then Gamst versus Isoi. Gamst moves on confidently, not having dropped a game yet. Actually, they've only dropped, I think, 1 or 2 games in the entire thing, but they are 2-0 in the bracket proper, if you will. Speaking of which, we can bring that up right now and take a look at where we are at. For the exact standings, get that Wikipedia up. Wikipedia.net Brood War. Oh, it's right at the top. Bam. Okay, so if Piano's still really emotional, then it could be a legitimate reaction. Maybe it was a big deal. It meant a lot to him. I don't know Piano's streaming personality, because like some people, like if that was Terror, that would just be like par for the course. Okay, yeah, so Celiver does go down 0-2, yeah, because their team was too weak throughout the middle part. Last and Cadenzi won first, but then GGMO, Hyuk, Oz, and JYJ just got run over. And so Celiver is out. Pickup holds on with their win here over Celiver. And then Gampt moves on. Nalgot is out, and we'll have a few more games coming up from group play. Who does that set up? We need to have our winners match. So let's see here. We had Connects winning. We had Afrika winning. Afrika moved on. Celiver's out, so that sends Pickup to face Connects. So we're going to have Pickup versus Connects to advance into the semifinals. And we are going to have Shinhan versus Gamst, a rematch. Gamst won 4-1 last time, but we're going to have a rematch in a tighter format here. And of course, in a best of 5, 2 uses of Flash is usually very powerful, although Harangi did take down Flash. But yeah, just showing you the bracket here. Isoi won once, and sorry, Gamst moved on. Isoi. Lost one, and Shinhan lost one. So we're going to have Isoi versus Shinhan and Pickup versus Connects. So looking at those matchups, that is going to be Rain, Mind, Action, 4GG, Ample, and Fox Club Zerg against Effort, Stork, Mong, Soma, Gwemshi, Goni. That's kind of even for the female streamers. That could go either way. Could get some good games out of this, though. Trying to decide who I think is favorite. Effort should be pretty strong. Female players are even. It's probably one that doesn't have a clear favorite. And then, of course, we have Shinhan against Isoi. So we have Flash, who really should beat most everyone on that team. I don't see Movie beating Flash for sure. I don't see Miso beating Flash for sure. I don't see Light beating Flash. I don't really see Jaedong beating Flash. Maybe Songho? I mean, apparently he's a notable PvT sniper, so possible chance for Songho, but really, I mean, Flash ought to do pretty well. And that's probably going to be the ability to have 2 wins for Flash. I don't even know who you send against Flash. Like, I mean, you know, Light and JD are your strongest players, but those are also 2 of Flash's better and less snipeable matchups. But then, I don't know, Light can probably beat most of the other players. Light can beat Tyson, Light can beat Lita, Light can definitely beat Shine, Light can beat C. I mean, Light should score a point for Isoi. Female players, Bong Soon and Sierra, that's pretty equal. Who knows how that goes. So we have one thing flavored for Flash. I'm sure we'll see Light. That could be favored for Light. And then it'll just depend on matchups. Like if Shine gets Movie, Shine could certainly win there. So those should be 2 pretty even parity, pretty good matchups that'll be fun to watch. Hello, do I understand Korean? Unfortunately, I do not. As I have noticed here from the last few days of streaming, like I'm obviously not going to be able to learn the language, but I think I'm going to make a point to trying to learn how to read Hangul so I can at least pronounce some of you guys' names and not just say Korean name person 1. And yeah, you're right, Flash did lose to Hring too, but it was kind of an upset, and usually Flash wins, so I don't think Flash is going to continue to have upsets, but certainly it's always a possibility. Although I feel like if there is a matchup where Flash is likely to get upset, it is PVT. Like, I feel like it's very unlikely to happen in TVT, and kind of unlikely to happen in TVZ. So yeah, those are matchups to look forward when I see you next. And while we're at that, let's go ahead and take a look at exactly when that is for our last bit of housekeeping. Bring up our ProLeague schedule over here. Just Team Liquid? Yeah! Team Liquid. ProLeague. We had games 16 and 17, so yeah, we have the finals of this. We are going to have a 1-day break, and then back at you in 2 days, so about 45 hours from now, for groups A and B. And then, of course, we have our 2 semifinal matches. The semifinal matches are 2-part best of 7. So we'll have the start of those, and then the finals, I think. Right? Quarterfinal is dual tournament. Oh, it's quarter. Yeah, is 3rd edition line. If match score 1-1, will begin ace card match. Yeah. Okay. So that starts the best of 7s. Okay. Yeah. So the semifinals are going to take place over 2 days because they're going to be best of 7. So we'll probably see like best of 7-1, best of 7-1 for the other set of teams, and then the 2 best of 7s, and then the super ace match. So yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and thanks to all you guys, and I will see you all in 2 days. Bye-bye.